Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. One of the questions that I get asked all the time is where is the best place to find food props, and just where's the best place to find really unique utensils and dishware and all that sort of stuff to just enhance your pictures and make them really stand out compared to others that you might see of the same foods. And there really is no right answer for where to go to find your food props. But I really do think that you can basically go anywhere that has a kitchen section or anywhere that has any sort of fun little unique pieces, and you can really find any props there depending on what you're looking for. So I'm going to go through my favorite places that I have found some props for my photography. I'm also going to go through just things to keep your eyes out for when you go to just any random stores, so you might find those really unique hidden gems that are just in any plain store that you go to, whether or not it's a food related store. So the first one that I'm gonna tell you about is no surprise to anybody, I'm sure, but it's just Amazon. I like using Amazon because they have fast shipping, of course, and they just have a wide range of stuff to choose from. And then also I love the review section where you can kind of see pictures of what people have been getting, and you can kind of see if that would be the right item for you. And it takes a lot of the guesswork out of what you think the item's gonna look like once you do get it. Now, aside from the metal tray that I've shown you in my past props video, I've also gotten these wooden utensils, and I use them quite often. I use them for cooking, obviously, as well. But they're just really easy to put in any picture and just make it look like you're about to serve up that food. And they're just very textured, very, very pretty color on it. And it's just really easy, and it's a lot better than just some black plastic utensils and servingware. And it just is a really easy way to make your pictures look much more rustic and just a lot more kind of lived in, if that makes sense. If I can find that exact same set, I will link that down below. And if I can find the metal tray, I'll link that as well. But I don't know if that was really a large mass scale production item or if it was just kind of one of those rare finds that you kind of had to be on the lookout for. In addition to the utensils and the tray, I've also gotten milk bottles from Amazon, and I don't have them right now to show you, but I've taken lots of pictures with them, and they just do great for my cookie shots, and just they add a little something to every single picture that's more of a baked dessert, kind of like cookies, like some cakes and that sort of thing. They really match the scene well, and I use them for a lot of stuff just beyond food photography even. And they had a set of 6, I believe, on Amazon when I got mine. I'll try to find those and link those down below so you don't have to search too far for it. But that is another one of my favorite food props that I did get from Amazon, and they got here within a couple days, so score. One of the other props that I got from Amazon that I feel like is a bit harder to find anywhere else, just because it's a bit more of an item that just wouldn't be carried in every single store. And then also, if you do find it in a grocery store even, it's just way too expensive to buy each individual one. And those are my spices that I've mentioned in one of my previous props videos. I got just a pack of 5 or so whole spices like cinnamon sticks and nutmeg. And it just looks really, really nice with just any kind of picture. I use them in teas, I use them for some baked goods that I make that have maybe some cinnamon in it or something like that. And I have found the link for those. I believe they do sell out very quickly, so when they restock you can find them again, but that is down below. But those are my probably top favorite props that I've got from Amazon, and I keep searching. It's kind of just like a hobby at this point. I just search to see if there's any new finds on Amazon, to see if I can find anything that's more unique, or if it is just something new that's popped up. I do keep my eye out very frequently for that, so I'll definitely keep you guys up to date if I find anything interesting on Amazon. Now, a place that I haven't personally gotten props from, but I know a lot of people swear by this source, is just Etsy. There's a lot of unique and handcrafted goods on Etsy, and I find that it's a very good place to find unique pottery because they're being handmade right for you, and you can even put in special requests to have more unique pieces tailored to what you want. This is obviously a much pricier source for a lot of these food items, but it is not hard at all to find something that you absolutely love. And if you're looking to splurge every now and then Etsy is a great place to find your props. I haven't personally ordered anything from Etsy, not because I haven't found anything that I loved, but just because I've been trying to keep all my food photography more on the budget-friendly end, seeing that I recently graduated college and everything, have lots of debt to pay off and whatnot. So I've been trying to steer clear of the more expensive retailers, and so that's why I just haven't bought anything off Etsy. But I definitely had things in my cart just waiting and tempting me to purchase them. But I would definitely recommend checking them out if you're looking for more handcrafted, unique items. Another place that you wouldn't quite expect to find good food props is just thrift stores and antique stores and all that sort of stuff. Now, this is a bit gross for some, if you want to say that, just because it is like pre-used, pre-owned, and they're not always cleaned the best. So if you do get anything from there, make sure you clean it thoroughly when you get home before using it on anything. I have a couple of just spoons, forks, and that sort of stuff that I've gotten from thrift stores because the detailing on the handles is just so pretty, and it just is so much more unique than any of the sets that you find now. Like for instance, it's ridiculous that I have a favorite fork, but I have this fork, which is my favorite. Let me see if this will focus. This fork is one of my favorites. It's just got some pretty designs on the handle. It's nice and curved on here, and it's just a lot better than like some standard run-of-the-mill forks that you find. So that is why I highly recommend going to thrift stores and just antique shops to find some of these. And oftentimes they're really, really cheap. I think this is like 50 cents. So definitely look at those. Just kind of browse the aisles, see if there's anything fun you can find there. Now, another store that I go to, and I've mentioned this one to you guys before, is just Target. I mean, I know that we all spend too much time at Target, and it's just nice to go maybe check out the clearance aisles that they have, check out the kitchen items that they have, and you will find almost every single time too many things that you want and that you want to take home with you. The black plates that I've mentioned before in my other props video are from Target, and I got those at the same time, and there was about 5 other plates that I decided to put back that I still wanted and that are still on my wish list because they were just really good plates and I really loved them, but I just didn't have the budget at the time to buy 5 plates while I was there, so I narrowed it down back to 2. But whenever I'm in a pinch and I really need just like a standard good like plate, bowl, whatever, I usually go to Target first because odds are they have something that I'm looking for, and even if they don't, I end up walking out with like 5 other things that I wasn't looking for, so I don't really think it's an issue. Another place that we probably spend way too much time at, and this is going to be more of a I spend too much time here video rather than a props video, but it's Hobby Lobby. And I don't know if everybody has these everywhere, but there's tons where I am. And Hobby Lobby just has a bunch of random stuff, random like decoration stuff. They have lots of like flowers, all that sort of thing. But the last time I went, I actually found a kitchen section. And of course they were having one of their many sales on that day, so I had to get a lot of stuff. But I found 2 small plates and a mug as well. There was a lot of other bowls and just sort of unique, just trinkety kind of type items there that could have worked amazingly for props, but I was kind of going shopping with a specific shoot in mind, so I only got what I needed. So I ended up walking out with these 2 just kind of blue-green plates, which are super matte. I love them. They're just like such a good size because I don't need a lot of food to fill them up. And I thought that was a big score because I had been looking for kind of more colored plates, but I didn't want them to be super bright or super in-your-face type colors. And I just love like the ridge on them, and they've got like the gray underneath. So it's just a really fun textured and dynamic piece. And then I also got this mug, which I was going to do a hot chocolate shoot. As you've probably seen, like I did end up doing it the day I got these props, but it's just a really good standard mug, and it matches my sloth mug if you've seen that make its appearance before. So I had to get this one rather than like a plain white or anything like that. But I thought it was super fun and just like a really like standard staple type piece. There's nothing too like unique about it to make it so you can't use it for certain shoots. Like it is pretty much usable for every single shoot that I have that requires like a cup like this. The last store that I can actually like put a name to that I've gotten quite a few props from is just Costco. They're a big warehouse, so it does take some searching sometimes, but I've gotten my massive chopping board that you guys hear me rave about all the time, and I got some soup bowls there that were just stackable, and they were different colors, and they were just very good pieces. I'll show those to you right now actually. So these are the soup bowls that I got from Costco. They came with about 6 or so, and they all stack together, so you can stack them up in the back of your picture to create some variants, which is most often how I use them. They are quite deep, so it's kind of hard to fill it with as much product as you'd like unless you put like some sort of filler in there, like a small bowl or something to cover up. They came in just like 6 different neutral kind of like pastel colors, which is really nice because then they don't really stand out and hurt your eyes, and like you don't have to do a lot of color correction when you go in because they just kind of suit the mood of the scene. But yeah, I got these and my big chopping board at Costco. And there's a lot of other stuff as well. There's a lot more unique things at Costco in terms of like patterns, textures, and colors that don't necessarily fit my aesthetic, but they could fit a lot of other people's. So it's kind of just like, keep your eyes open. If you're there, might as well check it out. There's no harm at all. There's not always things there, so it's kind of like hit or miss, but I definitely recommend looking at what they have to offer, because sometimes they have sales going on, or sometimes you just get a lot of one thing for like a cheaper price, and if you bought them each individually, and yeah, you can just sometimes find a really good deal there. So anybody that knows me knows that I also really love houseplants, and I have been using those as props in my pictures lately. So if you're at a plant store, you can always just pick up a little plant and pot, and that can be a new prop in the back of your picture. I'm just saying, it's really easy to take care of them, and they look great in the back of your pictures. So you can't really go wrong with that, honestly. Just go buy a houseplant, put it in the back of your pictures. It will liven it up and it will look amazing. But the point of the houseplants conversation was to explain that sometimes you can go to places like that and still find really good props there, and not necessarily ones that you kind of like make it a stretch to even fit in the props category. But I'm talking about my bowl and plate set that I talked about in my last props video. These ones, as I'm sure you can remember, I got them at a plant store. There was just like a little tiny kitchen section, and I managed to find both of these, and they work perfectly, and I wouldn't have found them if I didn't go check out all their plants. So just kind of wherever you go, just go check out the kitchen section, go see what they have to offer, and you might just find like a saucer or something that's not meant necessarily for the kitchen, but it might work perfectly for your pictures. The moral of the story here is you have to think outside of the box and maybe look into using things that aren't actually meant to be used as necessarily like food props or like food use at all, because it could really liven up your pictures and it might make it really interesting. There's tons of things that I use in my pictures that's like you wouldn't think twice to include those in a food picture, but it looks great and it works because it fits the scene and it just looks like it belongs there. So you really have to think outside the box, be more creative, and use things in ways that aren't traditionally usable, you know? But there's so many things that you can use that you wouldn't think would like work in a picture, or that it wouldn't even have a place there, but it really does, and it just really works and fits. Like the metal tin that I have isn't meant for food. It's not meant to be like a food prop or like even like any sort of household utensil for like the kitchen, you know, whatever. It's meant to be like a candle wax catcher, but I use it all for food and nobody would know any different unless I said something. So you really have to think outside the box, just be creative, say what would happen if I put this here, or if you need something brown, what in my house is brown? Find a wooden spoon that you use for serving and you're just like, oh, but this is an ugly serving spoon, put it in the picture and it looks super rustic, it looks super homemade and looks amazing. So that's kind of all I have for you guys today. Just be super creative, keep your eyes out at any store you go to, and I hope you find all the props that you're needing. And I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a like and subscribe for more content. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.